Hi boys, welcome to Unit 3, Lesson 3. We looked at the positives and negatives of sport in the media last week, and this week we are looking at sports journalism. This is the starter. It is on the Google form, so I'll let you pause the video here and go and complete that section of the Google form. To be approaching this week, you've got to produce a sports article and an image and a headline. So that includes an article, image, and a headline. Okay. To be meeting, you must, boys, this week to achieve approaching, you must produce a sports article that is made up of a headline and an image. To be meeting, you must produce a sports article which includes some aspects covered in the lesson and is in some detail. So it's limited detail in that article. And to be exceeding, you produce a sports article which includes all aspects covered in the lesson and is in great detail. Okay. Sports journalism. What is it? Well, Google will define sport as an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. It also defines journalism as the activity or profession of writing newspapers, magazines, or news websites, or preparing news to be broadcast. So, sports journalism, you put the two together, the profession of writing articles for newspapers or news websites in relation to individuals or teams in competition and preparing this news to be broadcast. Fairly self explanatory, fairly straightforward. So, what is a good sports article? Well, the sports article must first of all include a hook. This is the aspect which invokes readers' interest and makes them want to read. Usually, the headline of the article is grabbing, that hooks readers in. The image is the second thing that they see, that is another attention grabber, and then the introduction to the article tends to keep that interest, tends to be the last thing that gets their interest peaked. Okay, so think of a good headline, a good image to go with that headline, and then your introduction should be pretty good as well. The next thing is coverage, the span of information on an event and how it is laid out for the readers. Usually this is broken down into readable sections that mirror the game or the event that's being played out. So if it was football, then you could talk about the first half as one section, halftime, talk about what might be said at halftime, how they might set up during halftime, and then the second half. So different sections according to the game. Basketball might be broken down into four sections. You would have first, second, third, and fourth quarter, for example. So your headline and photo, okay, this is what provides the hook. This gets readers interested and makes them want to read it. Okay, everybody knew that Muhammad Ali was the greatest, so the headline confirms that to the people. But now, because of this headline, Ali's still the greatest. People now want to know why he is still the greatest. What's he done now? What happened that means this is further cemented? Okay, so that grabs your attention straight away. Then, if you look at the image, someone's getting punched in the face. Muhammad Ali's getting punched in the face. Well, it's saying he's still the greatest, but here he is getting punched in the face. I want to read it. I want to read and see what actually happened here. Yeah. This article, headline, and photo also creates a hook because it creates a sense of humour and disrespect towards the team that's mentioned. The headline tells you what happened, but can also draw readers in as they want to know more because it's hooked them. So Sonics advanced to finals. Oh wait, and you've got Kevin Durant, who used to play for the finals. A long time wanted to make the finals with the Sonics, but ended up doing it with the Thunder instead. So it wasn't actually the Sonics, it was the Thunder. So again, it creates a bit of disrespect towards the Sonics, but humour makes people want to read. The image to go with the article can be reflective of the headline or the story, but again, the image must be able to hook the reader. So if we look at Muhammad Ali's, someone's getting punched in the face. That draws you in. Here, those that know basketball know that this is a fairly disrespectful or funny image and headline. So I want to read more about that. So when you're writing your article, think about your headline and think about the photo you're going to use. Then it would be split into sections. Okay, the pre-game before the match has started. This provides a background to the event, the fixture, or the tournament. It's used to inform readers how the event or fixture came to be, where both teams or individuals currently are in their sport, and what winning or losing could mean to either side. This usually requires a hook to interest readers. The headline of your title or title of your article will do this initially, but as soon as they start to read, you need to grip them to keep them interested. So the headline and the photo have brought them to your article and they're reading it. How are you going to keep them interested? Well, if you look at the example on the right hand side, think about this: burger and pizza and grape soda. Pizza, burgers, and sodas aren't things you would associate with a world class athlete before a game, but it keeps you interested. Yeah? Think about short, snappy sentences to create excitement in the reader. Interesting words or phrases that keeps them hooked as well. Okay, so that's the first section that we talk about. How did these two teams come to meet? What's gone on before the game? Then that you would be covering the match or event itself. This provides a detailed breakdown of what happened during the match itself, memorable highlights, goals, bad fouls, card. He cracked the crossbar, for example. These kind of things will be talked about here, using strong adjectives to provide detail and keep readers interested. Okay. Flat as a pancake, although that's not an adjective, that is a metaphor. You've got to keep the readers engrossed the whole way through. Now, basketball, it would be first, second, third, and fourth quarter. Football, it might be first half, half time, and second half. But that makes it, these sections make it more readable for the readers. Okay, you can engage with it more. Boxing is often broken down into the rounds of a boxing match: first round, second round, third round, etc. Players' names, statistics, or important facts about the performance should be included here to keep readers informed. So it's all very well saying that a team scored 122 points, but what about Kobe Bryant? How many did he get that night? This was the article that we're taking this from. Kobe Bryant scored 81 of the 122 points. Okay, so that's informed all the way through. And then post-match. This provides a summary of the match and provides conclusions as to what the outcome of the match or event may result in for each side involved. Would a team qualify? Is a boxer set to retire after the loss? Does a tennis player climb the world rankings? What does it mean? So now the match is concluded or the event is concluded, what happens now? Yeah? What do we do now? We talk about post match. This section often includes the writer's feelings, opinions, or views on the match and can be subjective, but can also be very biased. Writers sometimes show the outcome they desired when writing this section. If their team loses, the writer may seem angry or upset, but if the person or team they support win, their writing will seem happy or overjoyed with the result. You're now going to go onto the Google form and you're going to give your views on bias. Is it okay for writers to be biased? Why or why not, if you think so? If you think it's okay, tell me why. If you don't think so, tell me why not. And if you were to write, when you write your article at the end of this lesson, could you remove bias from your own writing? Pause the video and go and complete that section of the Google form. The very last part of any article, usually takes fan or professional views. The view we're looking here is um, the coach from that day for the Raptors. They can provide a good insight from their perspective and can also be rather entertaining to read or listen to, depending on how the game went. If they were upset, you might be hearing some pretty ludicrous things being said, but it provides an entertainment sort of value, if you like. Now, when writing your own sports article at the end of this lesson, ensure to include some views from spectators or fans that could have viewed that the event you're going to write about. You will need to use your imagination here, as you cannot speak to fans of past or future events, but you can put yourself in their shoes. How does it feel to be a fan at that event that's already happened? Or if you think about Euro 2021, we've not had that yet, or the World Cup in 2022, we've not had that yet, but you can put yourself in the shoes of someone who would be there. All right. And that leads us nicely onto the assessment slash homework task. Okay, it's the same thing this week. We're not doing one task for assessment, one task for homework. It is all the same thing. You're going to research a sporting event or match. It can be past, present, or to come in the future, and then you're going to write a sport article on that said event or match. You're going to have to include all of the things that we've spoken about in today's lesson. The headline and the photo. You're going to have to include the description of the pre-game, what's going on pre-game, the actual match itself, post-game, what does it now mean for either team involved or either individual involved, and then have some spectator or professional views, for example. Once you've done that, you're then going to upload that to Schoology. Okay, I will post the Schoology submission and keep it open until Saturday afternoon at 12 p.m. Alright, Saturday afternoon at 12 p.m. is your deadline. But I want to see all of the aspects involved in today's lesson in your article. Good luck, boys.